for those curious, my name is Alexa, although I like to go by my nicknames, which are either Lex or Alexa, whichever one is fine. So I've got some thoughts to share, and it's for another album review. Now, I did one before. I don't know, you might have seen it or you might not have seen it. The first one that I did was for the Jonas Brothers' latest album. I talked about that, and yeah, I'll leave that somewhere if you're curious. But today we are going to be discussing a different album, and it's called Symptoms, and it's Ashley Tisdale's latest album. Now, as you might know or you might not have known, I like to theme things, and so I'm wearing a High School Musical shirt. You probably didn't need to know that because it's really clear. The only reason I'm wearing it though is because Ashley Tisdale's on it, and this is the only shirt that I had to wear to get into get into character, if you will. If you will say. However, I'm going to say before we start this album review, giving our thoughts on it, this shirt does not do this album justice. I was listening to it and I'm like, oh yeah, I should have gotten a different shirt, because listening to this album, this shirt does not do the album justice. Ashley Tisdale, I don't even know, she probably does have some shirts out there, but you don't really think about that. But moving on from that, I'm not really sure how this is going to come out, okay? I'm going to be real here. I don't know how this is going to come out. I've just listened to the album. I was gonna listen to it before, but I don't know, I just didn't feel, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was the time to listen to it. And today is actually the anniversary of it, so I thought, you know what, instead of doing it early, why not do it on the anniversary of it being released? And so it's crazy to think that this album actually came out last year. And yeah, I'm now listening to it. I don't really know where to begin. Before listening to the album, before I even started it, I was feeling really excited. I was slightly nervous, but I was really excited at the same time. And then I played it and I was like, this album gave me a whole lot of different emotions. I didn't really know what I was going to be listening to. And then when I pushed play, I still wasn't really sure what to think about it. Now, I hope I mentioned the name of the album. The album is called Symptoms, and of course, as the name of the album, that was actually the first track on the album. The first song on it, I actually didn't know what to feel with it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't know what to feel with it. While listening to it, I didn't have a lot of words for it. Now, that's not saying that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes when you're speechless, it's just because maybe a song is really good and you can't really express on it, or you're just not really sure how to process it in that moment. And I think this first song, I'm not really sure how to process it, but I know I don't hate it. I know that I feel it to be sorry, I feel it to actually be a good song, but I still don't know how to take it in. The only thing I can say is that it was pretty catchy, and yeah, it was just really catchy. And in this moment right now, I still can't really give you a full thought on what I felt when listening to it. It was just kind of like this face, like, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it, but I know that I don't hate it, which is good. Now we're gonna move on to the second song on the album, called Looking Glass. Okay, so listening to it the first time, when I heard it, I was still getting the same reaction from the first song, not really knowing what to think of it, but it did give me some chills, which is a good thing. I didn't really have a lot of words for it either. I actually thought it to be quite interesting. You know, when something is just like, be it a song, movie, or just something, whatever you're kind of like taking in. Sometimes, even when you're like, when it's right there in front of you and you're like, you know, taking it in, even when you're taking it in, you're still not quite sure what to take from it. So this one, I wasn't sure. I don't know. I can't give much thought on it, but I did think it was very interesting. Looking Glass, I can't really give any thoughts on it, but I wrote it was a good song, so yeah. Number 3, track 3, is called Love Me and Let Me Go. How to describe it? This also was a very interesting one. When it was starting, I was getting some emotions coming up very slightly, not like fully, but slightly. I held it together though. I held it together. There was a part in the song where she, I'm trying to remember some of the lyrics, but I just heard it, so I'm not really gonna know it. And there's a part though that she was talking about with this song. It was pretty much just her. Well, I felt like this song was her talking to herself, like, you know, like when there's like something, I can't explain it, but I just felt like this song was like a thing, like a message to herself, her like past self, like present her talking to her past self. And there was a part where she was saying like a lot of the things, like, you know, the old her, the emotions that she's feeling, that she's like, she said something about pretty much like being over it. And I had to pause it because, like, whoa, that's crazy, because in her first album, Headstrong, there's a song called Over It, and I was like, oh, like, it's like a throwback to like the title of her song. But that's just me, because, you know, I'm always trying to connect things, and it probably was not like that at all. Like, there was probably no intention of having a song title there. It was just probably her, you know, writing, and that's what came out. But I had to connect it to an old song. That's just me. But that aside, I really like how this album was going. I just want to state that, like, in general, like, there was a lot of like upbeat, you know, tones to it, and just like, it was just pretty groovy, pretty upgoing, not groovy, but pretty, like, there was never a, how to explain it, like, even though the lyrics, you know, were, some of them had things that were deep to them, but the songs always stayed upbeat. And I don't know if her husband produced this song, like, not this song, but produced the album, like, with her while she was like, you know, recording it. I know her husband's a producer. He's into music, and so if he worked on this album with her, I just want to give him some kudos, because the way that this album turned out was just sorry, I'm almost dropping things. I can't. It's good. It's good. If not, regardless, the way the album was going, it was good. With, you know, with the tracks that were chosen, like, the, you know, the music with it. I really like the lyrics in this, because it wasn't like you look at the title and you're like, okay, what kind of, like, you probably would think that you would know what the song's gonna be about, but then you listen to it and you're like, okay, that's not at all what it's about. And I just felt like this song was just her getting some, like, just expressing how she was feeling to herself, kind of like talking to herself through the song. But I don't know, with songs there's different interpretations, but I took it as just like a little, like, letter to herself. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. Number 4, track 4 that we're moving on to is called Insomnia. I was really feeling this song. Like, I really liked this song. This is actually probably a favorite of mine. It was, when listening to it, like, again, you know, when you're, like I said in the last song we mentioned, you, just by looking at the title, you think you know what the song's going to be about until you listen to it, and then you're like, okay, not what I thought, not what I was expecting, but, you know, yeah, this one, the way it was going, the way it went, I was not expecting it to go that way at all, but I actually loved it. I actually liked the way it went. Like, I wasn't upset about it at all. This was the part where I was just like, Ashley, like, you need to stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? All I'm gonna say is listen to the song. Listen to the song and you'll know what I mean. But yeah, it's not a song that's like about staying, well, it is about like staying up like all night and stuff, you know, when you having insomnia, not being able to sleep, but it's different. It's different, but I love it. I like this. And yeah, track 4 is so far the first favorite on this album that I like. But yeah, alright, so I had to stop it to transfer. Now we're back. But anyway, so yeah, that we talked about insomnia and how much I might really love it. Probably should not, but I do. Now we're on track 5, which is called Vibrations. I didn't have a lot to say with it. Just like the other ones that I talked about, not really having a lot to say about. Yeah, this one, the only thing I wrote down here is the fact that how the song expresses itself is how you're gonna feel it. Maybe not. Maybe you won't feel it how I felt it, because the way it you know, expressed what it wanted to express is how I felt it. It's pretty upbeat. Like I said, this whole album was pretty upbeat, and you know, it was just, I don't know, it was just pretty chill. It's a pretty chill song, and yeah, there wasn't a lot I could say with it, but it's just how it expresses is how you might feel it. Everyone has different ways of feeling songs. Some songs they connect with, some songs they don't. I don't know why I did this twice. So I don't know, you might, you know, have it. This might be a song where when you hear it, it's just kind of self-explanatory, just how I felt it to be. But you might have a different opinion, and that is completely fine, because that happens, you know. I'm not sure if it's a favorite, but I actually, I don't really mind this song, so that's actually good. Yeah. I don't mind it. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory and pretty, you know, pretty nice, pretty chill. Yeah, track 5 is okay. It was okay. Now, oh wow, I totally missed something. We move on to track 6, which is called Under Pressure. The only thing I said about this song is that I liked it. I don't think I need to say anything else, because that's just how I felt. Just, I heard it, I liked it, and that was it. So we can move on to the next one. It seems that every time we get to this number, it always, I don't know, it's always just, it's like a gravitational thing. It kind of just like pulls me in when it shouldn't, but it does. Track 7 is called True Romance. Now, there was nothing sad about this song. Not one bit. Nothing sad. Pretty nice. Pretty good. I actually loved it. But for some reason, even though it wasn't like sad or anything, this was the only song on this album that I actually got emotional with the whole way through. I wanted to pause it, and I think I did, and then I just was like, you know what, no, we're just gonna listen. We're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna listen to this one. And the whole way through, I was just bawling my eyes out. But I also was laughing because there's just, I can't express it. I can't express why this is the only song that got me emotional, except for the fact that it was the lyrics. That's it. The lyrics, I think, is what got the, no, the lyrics definitely got me with this. Yeah, it got me. I cried, and I'll admit it, and I laughed. Because there's just certain certain parts in the song that just, I don't know, it was just funny to me. But it's a really fun song. This is actually a really, really fun song, really upbeat, and it's just about love, pretty much. It's about love, and it's about how just like the line, just like what she was saying in the line, because I actually remember it. There's always a part that I remember from these things, but where she's like, true romance, with it is just, there's ups and downs, but it's just, yes. Yeah, but I just don't understand why this is the one that got me. I really don't. Out of all of the songs, this one got me. And it wasn't even a sad song. That's the thing. It wasn't a sad song. It was just. It was. I don't even know. I don't even know. But I really love the lyrics in this. This is a song that you're just gonna, like, if you do listen to it, you just gotta you gotta feel it when listening. So, like, it's just a song you kind of just gotta let whatever emotions come from it, just let them come out. Because for apparently the emotions that came out for me, I needed to cry, but I needed to laugh. And this song did both for me, and this is probably my second favorite on the on this album. And just like I said in my Jonas Brothers review, when it coming to number 7, I said it more like number 7. Yes, number 7 is seeming to get me a lot. I hate that this was the one that got me. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. So thanks Ashley, appreciate it. Okay, moving on from that, we now enter to track 8, which is a song that I actually already know. So this was the only song on the album that I already knew, because this was her single when she returned. And I actually wrote on this song. Like, I wrote a blog post about it. I will share that once this is all wrapped up, in case you're curious and want to read it. And this song is called Voices in My Head. And just, by hearing and looking at the title, you can probably guess what it's about. It's just more, this one's more about, like, when your thoughts get a little too loud for your liking, and it's just, it makes you believe all these things that in your heart and in your gut isn't true, but it's really good at convincing you. And it can be very effective when you're if you give it a lot of attention and pay it mind. And sometimes you just can't help it. Like, you may do your best to not have it get too much for you, but sometimes it just makes every thought that you're having that's negative feel so real in the moment, and you can't really, it's really hard to really to stop it and quiet it down. But with this song, it's kind of just like, she's, even though all these voices in her head are getting too much to bear, she is aware that they're just thoughts, and even when they do get too much, I'm gonna choose to not let them affect me. So like the line, like, this is the last time I listen to the voice in my head, the voices in my head, sorry. And you know, I just really love this song. I really love this song. It's become one of my favorites. And you know, I knew when I heard this, it was an automatic favorite because I listen to it from time to time, and it sometimes comes into my head in the, like, you know, not just in the morning, but at random times. And you know, it's we know that they're just thoughts, but you know, sometimes they just can get you, and they just get you in ways that you don't think they will. But I love this song. It's one of my favorites, and you know, even though I heard it, I wasn't gonna skip it because I heard it. Like, it's a favorite of mine. That's, you know, I don't mind, you know, re-listening to a song that is a favorite of mine, even when I heard it already. And so I just really love this song. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out, because it's good. It's really good. But yeah, that was track 8. And we've actually come to the last track on this album. I forgot to mention in the beginning that there's only 9 songs on this album. I was thinking of like recording my reaction with it, because as a whole the album's just 25 minutes, but I didn't have that amount of space on my camera, so that's why I'm doing it like this, and I only had about like 21 on it. But yes, but track 9, the last song on the album, is called Feeling So Good. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just a song about, you know, just feeling good, you know, after a very long time of maybe not feeling so good. And it's just a fun song. It's a fun song. I thought it was it was pretty alright. You know, I didn't mind it. I don't mind it. Is it a favorite? I wouldn't say it's a favorite, but I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's nice. It's nice. It's fun. And I might, you know, end up coming across it and checking it out here and there. Probably not all the time, but you know, maybe on certain days, you know, when you're just feeling really good and you're just having a good day. That's probably, you know, where I would put that song at. Like, if I'm just having a, you know, randomly good day, that's probably how I'm gonna end up listening to it. But you know, would I listen to it all the time? No, but like, if it shuffled in somehow, I probably would let it play. So, final thoughts. I really like this album. My only thing with it is that I want there to be more songs. I want more songs. Because 9 songs is just not enough for me. After hearing the album, I don't know. I wanted it to be more. I wanted there to be more. But you know, that being said, I actually really did enjoy this whole album. Ashley really surprised me. You know, compared to Headstrong and Guilty Pleasure, her other, you know, 2 albums before this one, of course. Hearing Headstrong and hearing Headstrong twice, no. Hearing Headstrong and Guilty Pleasures, and then adding Symptoms to that group, they're all different. Like, you hear them, you take each one in, and there's just a difference in each one. And you know, if I had to put them in order to which one I like, okay, as much as I love Headstrong, because Headstrong is one of my favorite albums from Ashley Tisdale, and because I pretty much I grew up with it. I had the CD at one point, and then I ended up giving it to, like, well, at the time we were friends, like an old friend, like, you know, when you're in school you kind of trade things. And so I gave my Headstrong CD to a kid that I knew, and then I realized that was a bad idea, and then I wanted it back and I missed it, and then it took me a while to get it back, and then I still have Headstrong to this day, and then I got Guilty Pleasures, and then, you know, but as much as I want to say Headstrong, I'm actually gonna have Symptoms be first, Headstrong second, and Guilty Pleasures third. But that doesn't mean like I dislike, like, you know, not like least a favorite, but I like all the albums. I like all the albums, but so this is not super long. They all have different personalities, and I just really like I like this album because you can feel and hear and see a whole different Ashley, and it's like with this one she's more her, like, you know, she's more herself. She's more herself, like and I remember that she did like an interview when she was, you know, coming out with music and saying how much this album meant to her, and, you know, she's pretty much putting all the emotions, all the things that she's felt throughout the years, when she's felt them, it's just all in this album. And, you know, I don't know, I really like it. I can't describe it. One of my thoughts with this album, like when I heard it, I was like, I wonder if it's gonna be like a continuation, because every time I listen to an Ashley Tisdale album, there's always that one song that I don't like from the albums. Like with Headstrong, it was a song called Going Crazy, and with Guilty Pleasure, it was a song called Hair. But this album actually broke that record, and there was not one song that I did not like, and I'm actually really happy, because I was hoping that it did that, because I really didn't want to not like a song on this album. Not saying that, you know, just because I don't like that one song, that the whole album like with Headstrong and Guilty Pleasures wasn't a good album. I still bought it, and I just listened to the ones that I liked, you know, but I'm glad that this is the first album of Ashley's that I like fully, and not like, you know, and there's not like one song that I don't like. But yeah, I wrote in here that she brought Sharpay onto this album, and then within the few songs, like within hearing the few songs, you can just see that they just emerged into one person, and, you know, it's just Ashley now, which is funny, because she actually said that, because I think there was a different interview where they asked her like what it was like playing Sharpay on High School Musical, and she said she actually loved it, because, you know, she's like that she pretty much brought Sharpay into her actual personality, so it's not that she just loved playing that character, and, you know, just being, you know, having the opportunity to, you know, play someone completely different from her. But like now Sharpay is pretty much a part of her, and she embraces it. So, oh wait, no, maybe that wasn't an interview. I think that was actually where she did like a Q&A or something off her channel. That might have been it, but I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm really glad that I heard this album, and, you know, I don't really have anything to say. I'm kind of I don't know what else I can say with this album. I really like it. I have a few favorites, and I have songs that I'm gonna have to re-listen to, because I wasn't really sure about them, but I didn't dislike them at the same time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to re-look at those and see what I think about them, hearing it, you know, a second time. But I just wanted to share some final thoughts on here. If you have not heard this album, I would suggest or, you know, recommend that you do, because it's really good. There's some songs that you might have to get used to, and, you know, I I know I have to, but you know, there might be some songs that you might have to get used to, like after hearing it, like say a first time. And sometimes it happens. You listen to a song first time, not sure how you feel about it, not sure how you feel about it, and then you hear it again, and then you kind of get a conclusion to what you thought about it. And that could be you really liked it, or it just wasn't your thing, and that is completely okay. No, but definitely check out Symptoms. It's really good. I think you'll find a few songs on here that you'll either connect to or just listen to enjoy. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what else she's got. I'm pretty sure she's probably working on something new, or maybe she's just kind of like chilling out for a while, and that's fine. You know, but when she does come out with some new songs, I'm on board. I'm looking forward to hearing what else she's got, and I'm really happy with this listen. So yeah, yeah. But with that, that is my album review on Symptoms by Ashley Tisdale. If you like this and found this to be entertaining, feel free to, you know, subscribe to this channel and follow along if you want. If you heard the album, let me know what your favorite song on it is. So far, True Romance and Insomnia are my two guaranteed favorite songs. The other ones I have to re-listen to kind of see if they fit on that list as well, but so far I have two favorites, but I do like the whole album. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the album, if you liked it, if you have some favorite songs or songs you didn't like, because I'd love to hear it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys are keeping safe and doing well, and you know that you're healthy. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.